Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be playing with some new makeup that I recently picked up from Ulta. When I laid my eyes on these, my immediate thought was, I need to try those. So I'm talking about the new J.Cat, what are you called? Vanity Goddess Chromatic Pigments. I have 5 shades. There are a whole bunch more than this on the website, but since I was buying them with my own money, I had to restrain myself a little and not pick up like all 20 shades. But we are gonna be swatching and playing with the ones that I do have. We're gonna be creating this purpley blue look of goodness that's on my eyes right now. Before we get into creating this look, playing with these new pigments, I do want to let you guys know this video is sponsored by MODA brushes. If you missed my announcement video / makeup playtime that I did at the beginning of the month, I will link it for you guys up here in the card. But essentially, MODA named me their Maven of the Month for January, so all month long, my discount code is going to double, so you guys can save 20% on your orders with code LITTLEBLUSHINGBIRDIE at checkout. I'll put it on the screen here for you guys. It'll also be in the description box of this video. And I just was super honored to be able to work with them and to be featured on their website and in their newsletter and all that kind of cool stuff. So thank you to MODA for sponsoring this video. I will be using their brushes to create this look. They will also be listed and linked for you guys if you're interested in picking any of them up. But now that I've gone on and rambled for like 5 minutes, why don't we get into playing with these pigments? All right, so these are what we're gonna be playing with today. These are the chromatic pigments from J.Cat Beauty. I got these from Ulta. They retail for $5.99 a piece. Of course, I got mine, buy one, get one 40 or 50% off, so save myself a couple of bucks. I picked up 5 shades, but there are quite a few available. I think close to 20 shades maybe. I don't know the exact number, but there were a lot. So this is what the packaging looks like. And inside you'll find these are true pigments. They are completely loose. There's no stopper in here. So these have the potential to get super messy, so just be careful, be aware of that. But the swatches of these pigments looked out of this world amazing, so I just couldn't resist, especially for the price, to pick them up. So before we actually get into putting these on the eyes, I thought I'd first show you guys some swatches. So I think I'm gonna try swatching these with my finger to see how it goes. I played around with these a little bit, and I think these are the kind of pigments that are going to apply best when foiled. So adding them to a wet brush is gonna A, help to reduce fallout, and B, really pack the shine on. But we'll try swatching them dry with the finger first. So this first shade here is called Mirror on the Wall. This one looks super cool and like duochromatic. It has that kind of like blue-brown shift. Oh my goodness, and it's got like a greenish kind of reflection to it. That is so stinking pretty. This is the next shade. This one is called Enchantress. This one is a blue with like a purpley kind of duochromatic shift to it. Ooh, that one also is super stunning, really fun color. And this next one is a kind of purple color. This is called Cheeky Arrogance. And I have to say, these feel very soft to the touch, like super creamy, and I just totally botched that swatch. That was terrible, but dang, that shade though, that's really pretty. It has like a bluish shift to it with like a plummy purple base. Then this one here is called Fourth Dimension. This one's got more of like an iridescent kind of tinge to it. So that one's kind of got like a white base and it has kind of a purpley reflect to it. And then this last one is called Molten Magic. It reminds me kind of the first one, Mirror on the Wall. It looked like they were almost identical when you see them online. So that's why I kind of wanted to see them in person to see how different they were. I think this one is more of like a taupey silver though, whereas Mirror on the Wall has more of that blue-green kind of shift to it. Yeah, so that one is more taupey. And then Mirror on the Wall has got more of a green shift. So here you have it. Here are all 5 shades swatched. I think they are super reflective and stunning. I cannot wait to put these babies on my eyes. But I will say a few things that I have noticed, even just in swatching these. They are quite chunky. There is a lot of fallout because they are a pigment. They are not a cream shadow. There is nothing here that is adhering the pigment to itself. So you definitely kind of need to either apply these over some kind of like sticky primer, a glitter primer, or you need to foil them. I think if you apply them just dry with a brush, they're going to get everywhere and you're just gonna have a hot mess on your hands. So we'll come back to that when it's time to apply these. But in the meantime, I have nothing on my eyes. I just put down some concealer and set it with powder, but I don't have any shadow on. So we need to create some kind of a base, I think, before I go in and put these on the lid. So I thought maybe we could use this guy today. This is the Suva Beauty Protege palette. I got this in my Boxy Luxe box and I have not used it at all yet on my eyes. There are a few different kind of matte tones in here, so I figured this may be a good time, a good opportunity to give this a whirl. And then I have this super adorable little flip out brush kit. This is the MODA Prismatic Eye Perfecting Kit. So I'm going to be using these brushes to apply my eye makeup today. I think these are super, super fun. I love the ombre handles. The bristles are so soft. And there's pretty much everything I need in here to create a complete eye look. I did also grab my Metallics small eye shader brush. This is like one of my favorite brushes for applying any kind of like shimmery products or pigments because it's a nice flat brush, but it still has a little bit of fluff to it, so it can actually pick up loose products, but then it lets me really pat it and pack it on nicely in a precise area. So I think this is going to come in handy when it comes to applying the actual pigments, but when it comes to blending shadows and whatnot, we're going to be reaching for these guys. So I'm going to take this crease brush and I'm going to go into this shade Poetic right here. I'm not really sure how this is going to show up on the eyes. I'm going to put it in the crease, kind of hoping this will be the start of a transition shade. It's a little light, so I kind of feel like it probably won't show up too much on me. I am getting a bit of a grayish tone. Not terrible, but not amazing. I think I'm also going to take a little bit of the shade here called Tact, which is more of a cream color, and I'm going to apply this up on the brow bone just to kind of create a subtle highlight. Shadows are very powdery. They're soft and like it's clinging to the skin, but I've been getting a lot of kick up in the pan. So I think I'm going to take this shade Aesthetic. I'm kind of afraid of how dark this is going to be. I'm going to tap my brush into it and then also tap it into Poetic just to kind of like tone it down a little bit. And I'm going to try blending this into the crease. So it seems like if you go in with a very light hand into this shade, it's actually not crazy pigmented. It goes on kind of sheer and you can blend it out fairly easily, which is nice because there really isn't like a mid-toned transition shade in this palette that would work in the crease otherwise. Now I'm going to take this shader brush and I'm going to go right into that Aesthetic shade, and I want to just kind of pat this on the outer corner because I want to intensify the color there. And then back in with my crease brush just to blend together. So it looks kind of like a hot mess on the lid, but it's because we're going to be going in with one of these chromatic pigments next. They're all super pretty and I kind of want to use all of them, but I'm thinking I might kind of play off of these purple tones, use Cheeky Arrogance as well as Enchantress, kind of ombre together on the lid with maybe a little bit of this fourth dimension shade in the inner corner. So I'm gonna go and take my small eye shader brush and I'm gonna spritz this down good with some MAC Fix Plus. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit so you can better see what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna dip into Cheeky Arrogance, tap off my excess, and I'm going to start this on the outer to middle portion of the lid. Oh, that is so stunning. Yeah, these definitely foil so beautifully. And I'm going to clean this guy off on a makeup wipe real quick. Obviously, we don't care that it's damp because we want it to be wet. Then I'm going to go into Enchantress and we'll put this more on the inner to middle part of the lid. That's fun. I like that. All right, I'm gonna actually just take a little bit more Cheeky Arrogance from the lid here. And while I still have some Enchantress on my brush, I'm just gonna kind of blend over the line in between those two colors. So I need something a little bit more pointed to get into the inner corner, so I'm gonna use this smoky eye brush. I'm going to wet this guy up as well, and then we're gonna go into fourth dimension, really make sure we tap off the excess here so we don't get crazy fallout, and gonna apply this right into the inner corner. Maybe I'll even take this up almost a little like a cut crease. That looks kind of cool. That looks super cool. Oh my goodness, so shiny and reflective. Now these are not glittery eyeshadows. There are no shimmer particles in them. They're just a straight up metallic, shiny kind of finish, but they have that really neat like duochrome nature to them. All right, so now I want to go back in with my matte shadows and kind of just intensify things in the outer corner. I'm gonna go back in with my shader brush into the shade Aesthetic. And we're gonna just tap this right into the outermost corner. Also gonna take a little bit more of that same shade on the crease brush and just blend that up into the outer portion of the crease again as well. All right, so here's where we're at. I think I want to smudge out the lower lash line a little bit. There is a smudger side on the other side of this crease brush, very handy. Gonna take that into the shade Aesthetic again, kind of just smudge this along the lower lash line. And then after wiping the excess color off of this crease brush, I'm just gonna go back into Poetic here, more grayish shade, and I'm just gonna kind of take that right along the lower lash line just to soften everything. So this is where the eyes are at right now. I think they look really cool. I'm digging it, but I feel like we need some finishing touches. So I'm gonna put on some liner and mascara, curl up my lashes. I'm just gonna be using my Sigma liquid eyeliner pen and my It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. So let me do that and I'll be right back. And I'm back. So here's what we're looking like with some liner and mascara on. I will say, as I applied my liquid liner, some of the pigment was like flaking off a little bit, so that wasn't the best. I feel like my eyelids are also very lizardy looking. Like the way that this dried down being foiled kind of made my eyes look more crepey and crinkly, which I also don't love. I'm curious to see how these pigments apply over like a glitter glue, like this one from Too Faced, because typically it doesn't do that. Like it holds the pigment in place, but it doesn't make it chunk up on itself. So I'm gonna have to try that out with this another time and let you guys know, update you at the end of the month once I've played around with these pigments a little bit more. So there's one last like finishing touch I think I want to put on this look just because I kind of want to try them out. I finally picked up a pair of House of Lashes Iconic lashes. I've never used these before. I've always wanted to. So I thought we would slap these babies on today because this is kind of a more glam look. All right, so lashes are on and these are pretty intense, I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate it. They're fun and dramatic. Definitely not a natural looking lash, but that's not what we're going for today, so it's totally fine. So just a little handy tip from me to you. If you have a spoolie, which is on the bottom of this little lash comb here that comes in the eye kit, you can use it once your lash glue is dried. Don't do this before your lash glue is set, otherwise you're gonna move your lashes around. But you can go through and just kind of gently comb up through your natural lashes to make sure that they actually blend with your falsies. Okay, so let me zoom you guys out and we'll chat some final thoughts. All right, guys, so here is my completed final look. I think it came out beautiful. I love the way that my eyes are looking right now. It's very colorful, very dramatic, definitely not a normal everyday kind of look, but I enjoy the drama every once in a while. Only in my makeup though, only in my makeup. So first off, I do think these are beautiful. There are so many other really gorgeous shades as well in the lineup, a lot of like bronzy warm tones. I just didn't pick any of those up because I feel like I have many dupable shades in my collection, these to me were a little bit more unique, and I really am happy with all 5 of these shades. I think they're beautiful. I'm excited to use these 2 that I did not use today in another look. I think the price point is great. I mean, you can't beat $6. There really is a lot of product in these little pots, so they will last you an eternity. You only need like the tiniest little bit to create your look. But there are a lot of downsides to these little pots. The biggest thing is that they are messy as heck. If you could see the table in front of me right now, there is powder everywhere. I mean, it's a disaster zone. I actually don't have really any fallout underneath my eyes, which is pretty incredible. Not to say that there wasn't fallout created as I was applying these pigments, but it basically blew right off. It went away without kind of smearing or smudging on my face, so that was nice. Still, I wouldn't exactly call these pigments foolproof. Then again, I wouldn't really call any pigment foolproof. This is just kind of one of those things that comes along with using any kind of a loose powder product on your eyes. They're messy when you open the container. They can have fallout on your eyes, on your face. There's a reason why so many people like liquid glitters and pressed shadows, because pigments, they have some downsides. But the payoff, the shine, the duochrome nature of these is really very special. So for me, I don't mind taking the extra time, putting in a little extra effort to work with these, but I wouldn't say they're gonna be newbie friendly. If you're someone that doesn't wear makeup very often, if you're someone that's not very experienced with makeup, you may be a little frustrated trying to use these. Now, if you're someone that doesn't want to deal with the mess, and if anything wants a little bit more of a true sparkle in their eyeshadows, I would recommend getting the J.Cat Pris-Metal eye mousses instead of the pigments. These are super, super beautiful. They're very shiny. These have almost more flecks of glitter in them, but they're a cream kind of mousse texture, so there's not really any fallout when you apply these. I personally prefer to apply them with my finger because I don't feel that they pick up very well on a brush, but I do really like these shadows as an alternative, a little bit of an easier product to use from the chromatic pigments. So long story short, I am glad I picked these guys up. I think they're beautiful. I will definitely continue to use them, play with them. I love the way this look came out, and I feel like these are sort of a more artistic, inspiring kind of product to me. They kind of push me out of my comfort zone and make me want to create some more interesting looks. But again, if you don't want to deal with the mess of the pigments, I would go with these guys because I think they are also super beautiful and just a little bit easier to use. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you found this helpful, getting to see these products in action. Definitely let me know in the comment section, what are your feelings towards pigments? Do you use them? Do you like them? Do they freak you out? Do you feel like they're way too messy, too much of a hassle to be bothered with? Let me know what you think. Also, thank you again so much to MODA brushes for sponsoring this video. If you want to shop any of the brushes that I used today, they will be listed and linked for you in the description box of this video, along with my discount code if you want to save yourself 20% off your purchase at MODA brushes. And with all that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go because I have a giant mess in front of me to clean up. But I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.